Hey, what's going on, guys? I have a quick little thought I want to share with you today, and this came up this morning as I was driving into the office, and I was listening to a Dave Matthews song on the radio. Now, this particular Dave Matthews song was from an acoustic set he did with a very small group of people in a studio for the Sirius XM radio station. Well, before they went into actually playing the song, which happened to be Gravedigger, if you're a Dave Matthews fan, they did a little, maybe 1 or 2 minute introduction where he was telling a story in the studio to the small group of people who were in attendance. And he's telling a story, and this story had a little piece of it which I think directly relates to entrepreneurs and people looking to start their business. So I want to share it with you really quickly. So I'm not going to give you the whole story, but just for a little background, basically he's talking, Dave Matthews that is talking about a friend he's had for a long time. So he's telling this story about how his friend came up with this idea, and the idea was, what if libraries never existed? Okay, what if we never knew of a thing called a library? Okay, imagine if some guy suggested it, said, hey man, I got a great idea. Let's create these buildings and we'll use public funding and we'll fill it full of books and we'll let people use them for free. Could you imagine that guy would get run out of Congress? He'd be called a communist. Like, when you think about it, that goes against a lot of what we view, or at least some people view, as acceptable. Okay? But it's all about perception. We think libraries are a great thing, but essentially they're government-controlled entities that decide for us what books we should read, and therefore they have the opportunity to give them to us for free. So I don't know if it's communism or socialism or simply welfare, but the bottom line is that same concept in a different light would get people up in arms. And once again, it's all about perception. So for entrepreneurs, what I challenge you to do is, if you're struggling with something, if you have a little hitch in your business or you hit a wall, maybe just switch your perception. Maybe it's how you perceive yourself, or maybe it's how you perceive the steps that you're supposed to take. Maybe you're following a course, or you're following in the footsteps of someone who's found success and you want to duplicate it. Okay, those are all reasonable things to do, but perhaps you just need to change your perception. Like maybe you don't think you need to run Facebook ads, but you do. Or maybe you do think you need to rely on advertising, but maybe you don't. Or maybe you think you can do this without a YouTube channel, but maybe you need one. Or maybe you're focusing all your efforts on creating your YouTube channel and you can get better results by starting a Facebook group. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to create a course when in actuality you should give your information away for free. I don't know what it is. Maybe you're trying to do e-com or drop shipping and you should instead focus on doing private label and building a brand. Or maybe you're trying to build a brand and you should just start focus on selling something first. I don't know what it is, but you can go against common sense. You can go against social norms. You can challenge perception, because I think the reason successful entrepreneurs become successful is not because they follow a plan to the T, or they're amazing at executing a certain set of steps, or not that they're the best at sales, or not that they're the best at communicating. I mean, sure, some of those things help, but I think the reason that successful entrepreneurs become successful is because they go out there, they try things, they see what works, and they see what doesn't work, and they adjust. Sometimes you have to just kind of switch your perception of what you think will work based on the information, the feedback that you're getting, because there are no sacred cows. Nothing is set in stone. You can challenge everything in entrepreneurship. And when you do and you find a win, you find a weak point, then you can attack, because so many people are afraid to challenge that point. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, thanks for listening to this story. We'll see you soon. Bye now.